Hey guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are doing fine and are safe at home. So guys, today's topic is watering. So let's talk about how to effectively and safely water our succulents. Now guys, a lot of succulent experts avoid watering directly on the succulents. They avoid any kind of water on the leaves and on the rosette of the succulent. Let's try and understand why they do so. Now guys, one of the common reasons to avoid watering on the leaves are watermarks. Eventually when the water will dry off, it is going to leave watermarks which look like stains on succulents. Now these stains or watermarks are very evident on succulents that are darker in color. For example, black prints. Now guys, the next reason are burns or dark spots. Now when water is left on the succulent leaves, the droplets of water act like magnifying glass. Now when the sun rays fall onto these droplets, they are going to burn the leaves, which in turn leaves with dark spots or burn marks. You might notice that there are round brown spots on your succulents, which usually people think is rot, but actually it was burn marks due to the water that was present on the leaves. So you'll have to avoid leaving water on the succulent leaves, especially if you're keeping your succulents outside in the morning sun. So these dark spots that are caused by the burns are permanent, which means that these would be permanent scarring on your leaves. So always be mindful whenever you see droplets of water on the leaves, get rid of them as soon as possible. So guys, the last 2 points that we spoke was purely based on the aesthetic look of the succulent, but it does not cause any direct harm to the succulent. But in this point, what we're going to talk about is a potential risk, a potential rot that can happen. Now this is a crown area. As you can see that there are tiny space and compact space on the crown area. Now the crown area is the most vital and important part of the succulent. Now imagine when the moisture gets trapped in between these tiny spaces, it's very difficult to get rid of it and could lead into a potential rot. Now guys, this is a picture of a succulent that has been affected with crown rot. Now you can clearly see the crown area is completely turned black in color, which means that the cells around this leaf have been dead. Now it's a very bad kind of a rot because in this situation you cannot even pull out the leaves for propagation. As you can look at the end of the leaves, they have become dark. That's the place where the rooting system starts when you propagate the leaves. But in this case it's not going to be possible because the cells are already dead. And the moment you touch the succulent, all the leaves are going to fall apart. Now you know guys why the crown area is considered to be a very vital part of the succulent. Now this part is also very tender because this is where the new leaves are generated. So you have to always ensure that you do not touch this tender part of the succulent because it is very sensitive as compared to the other part of the succulent. Now you might say that then how is it possible to get rid of the water without touching it? That is where we have something called as a rubber blower. So guys, this air rubber blower is especially designed for succulents in order to get rid of dust or any water that settles on these succulent rosettes. Now guys, in case if you do not find it online, you can even opt for these balloon blowers that you will easily find it at any stationery shop. It also works in the same way. As you can see that there are small holes over here through which the air is pulled in and it intensely blows off the air from the nozzle in front, and it can effectively blow off maximum amount of water from the rosettes without even touching the rosettes. So this is how we use the balloon blower on the leaves. This is how we blow the water away from the leaves without even touching the rosettes, as you can see. Now the intensity of the balloon blower is much more than the rubber blower that we have online. You can see how efficiently it's blowing off all the water. Now remember, there would be very little bit amount of moisture that might be still trapped within, but you do not have to be worried about that because nature is going to evaporate that water. But the main concern over here is the maximum to maximum amount of water is blown away with this blower. So guys, in case if you do not have a balloon blower or you do not have a rubber blower, the only last option would be blowing the air through your mouth. Now this can be little uncomfortable because there are chances of the dirt or the mud getting into your mouth. So, but this is only in the last resort if you do not have anything available. Now we are just testing, we are using the tissue paper to just check if there is any moisture left within the leaves. Now as we are checking, we can see that the leaves are completely dry. Some time back you seen that there was so much of water in the rosettes, but right now when we are checking it with this piece of tissue, the water is completely gone off and the tissue is dry. So hence this proves that the balloon blower did its job and it was quite efficient in getting off maximum amount of water. Now guys, we have spoken about the dangers of watering on the leaves or on the crown area. Now the next question is, then how do we avoid watering on the leaves, or how do we avoid from splashing water on the leaves or on the rosette? Now here we have a ketchup bottle that has a nozzle, that's a thin nozzle. We have another type of bottle, again it has a very thin nozzle, and these bottles can be used for watering because the nozzle can be safely used. Now guys, here I have made a DIY bottle. All you need is a water bottle. You'll have to make a hole at the cap and then just insert a pipe. I have used an aquarium pipe, aquarium tube pipe into the bottle, which acts like a nozzle. Now this nozzle is fine and thin and it does not splash water when I water my succulents. Now guys, this is one of the way that I water my succulent. You can see that the nozzle is very close to the soil and only the soil is getting wet and not the succulent. Now I know guys, it's gonna take some time, like 5 to 10 minutes to do this type of watering, but I'm sure that it's worth it because you do not want to rot your succulent or burn your succulent. So this is one of the efficient and safest way to water your succulent. So guys, the second safest method of watering is bottom watering. I've already made a video on this, so I won't be talking much about this. But again, this is the safest way because even in this method, the water does not splash on the leaves or on the rosettes. Guys, this type of watering is also very helpful when it comes to propagation of leaves. If you into propagating leaves, then bottom watering is the best option because bottom watering starts to absorb the water from the drain hole and it wets the soil from beneath, which encourages root growth faster. So there are chances that the pups will root faster if this method of watering is used. So guys, and at the end of the video, I would also like to mention that the thumb rule remains the same, that you will only water the succulent when your soil is bone dry. I hope that this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please consider subscribing to the channel. Until then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.